Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Stanley Kosin, President and CEO of Voith Hydro's North American operations. And on behalf of our entire York, Pennsylvania-based workforce, I want to extend a warm welcome to our distinguished guests. The Department of Environmental Protection Acting Secretary Jessica Shirley, York County President Commissioner Julie Wheeler, York County Commissioner Doug Hoke, Pennsylvania State Representative Danielle Friel-Otten, and all of the multiple labor leaders that we have here joining us for today's event. Thank you for coming. And most notably, the Honorable Josh Shapiro, Governor of Pennsylvania.
Thank you, Steve. Thank you.
We're truly grateful to be your host today as we share the same pride in Pennsylvania workforce together with the same strong commitment to American manufacturing. Governor, thank you for selecting Voith Hydro as the venue for this important event. We're proud to join other representatives from industry and labor in support of your comprehensive energy plan for the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Being here today highlights our contributions to the energy sector and reinforces the critical role hydropower plays in Pennsylvania's past, present, and future. York, Pennsylvania holds a special place in the history of hydropower in the United States. Some say that it's the birthplace of hydropower manufacturing in America, thanks to our legacy company, S. Morgan Smith, which was founded right here in 1877. These deep roots and rich history of innovation continue to inspire us to this day. At Voith Hydro, we're immensely proud of our commitment to innovation and U.S. manufacturing, a commitment reinforced through investment. More than $20 million invested in this manufacturing facility right here in York, Pennsylvania in just the past few years. This investment underscores our dedication to meeting the needs of our customers, who place the highest value on quality and technology, made possible by a robust and reliable domestic supply chain. Demand for electricity in the U.S. is growing, and hydropower stands out as one of the most reliable and sustainable renewable energy sources available, not only for generating electricity, but also for storing energy, an often overlooked but essential resource to maintain a stable energy grid. The future of hydropower and all renewable energy sectors depends not just on technology advancements, but also on a robust, highly skilled workforce. And we're fortunate to have a great partnership with the men and women of the International Association of Machinists and Aerospace Workers. Our apprenticeship and training programs help build the workforce of the future. These initiatives are essential to ensure that we have the skilled labor necessary to support and expand our renewable energy infrastructure right here in Pennsylvania and across our nation. We wholeheartedly support the governor's plan to lower electricity costs and to build and upgrade more power plants to ensure clean, reliable, and affordable energy for Pennsylvania's future. Governor, thank you once again for your leadership and for choosing Voith Hydro as a partner in this transformative journey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Governor Josh Shapiro.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Stanley. Stanley, to you and to Team Voith, let me say thank you for welcoming me here today. It's an honor to be with you. It's especially an honor to be here with all of you, the women and men who are out there doing this work. And I'm mindful that as I'm speaking here today, those two great welders I just met and all of you are taking a little bit of a pause from your important work. So I will do my best to keep it brief, but I want you to know how critically important you are to this process. And I want you to know that I think our energy future in this Commonwealth and in this country is going to be built with your hands, your skills and your expertise, and I'm honored to be with all of you today. Thank you very, very much. Thank you. I got to tell you, I'm so darn proud that Voith has made Pennsylvania its home since the 1880s. That's home for hundreds of welders and machinists and craftsmen and women to build the most advanced hydropower turbines and generators in the world. And that building is happening right here in York, Pennsylvania, the largest facility of its kind in North America. It's incredible. I believe, and this is why I wanted to be here today, that Voith is a symbol of Pennsylvania's history as an energy producer, and it is a symbol of the kind of legacy of leadership of energy production that we are proud of here in this Commonwealth. You remember Ben Franklin's kite that kind of started it all. From Ben Franklin's kite to our coal mines, to our oil fields of Western Pennsylvania, to facilities like this that helped fuel the Industrial Revolution. These hydropower turbines that have been produced in this community since the 1800s are an important part of that legacy. Pennsylvania's energy industry created good jobs and lifted people out of poverty, powered the middle class, allowed folks like you to put food on the table of your families, earn a great wage, and has helped lead to the creation of the modern-day American labor movement. When fascism threatened freedom overseas, it was the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, your ancestors, that made sure we could produce energy here, that made the arsenal of democracy and made us the most powerful manufacturing base in the entire world. And today, Pennsylvania is proud to be the second largest energy exporter in the entire country and one of the most important energy producers in the state. I'm proud of that legacy, and I'm excited for our future. And the future is what I want to talk about here today. Voith is a critical part of our future. If we want to be energy dominant in this country and across the world, we need places like Voith to be able to succeed. But unfortunately, without action from our legislature right now, Pennsylvania has failed to capitalize on our strong position, that strong legacy of leadership. And other states are moving to catch up to us and try to surpass us. Those other states over the years have put new policies that protect and create energy jobs and spur innovation and attract investment in data centers and electric vehicles. They've done that work, and they've done it in a way that creates jobs and protects public health. Right now, we need to take big, bold, decisive steps to build new sources of power in this Commonwealth and to use the kind of Pennsylvania innovation and ingenuity that we see right here at Voith and that has powered this Commonwealth for generations. That's why about a month ago, out in Western Pennsylvania, I announced our new Lightning Plan, a 6-part plan inspired by Ben Franklin's kite to increase energy production, bring down energy costs, speed up our permitting times, and grow our economy and put more people like you to work. This plan is supported by industry leaders. You heard that a moment ago. It's supported by labor unions, consumer advocates, and by environmentalists, each of whom are represented here today in York and have been represented all across Pennsylvania. And it's supported by members of the General Assembly in both the House and in the Senate. Those members, starting next week, will introduce 6 different bills to enact the Lightning Plan to reduce energy costs, create more jobs, and more generation. I'm grateful to be joined today by the sponsor of one critically important piece of the Lightning Plan. That's Representative Danielle Friel-Otten, who joins us today. Representative Friel-Otten isn't from York, but she's here today. She represents a community in Chester County, but she wanted to be here today because she understands just how critical Voith is in helping us enact this important Lightning Plan, and it's going to be your hands that help us build our energy future. Representative, thank you for being with us today. We look forward to your comments in a few moments. Next week, Representative Friel-Otten is going to introduce legislation to create something known as the Pennsylvania Reliable Energy Sustainability Standard. You never have to remember that again. We just call it the PRESS plan. She will update our energy standards and expand the tiers of what kind of energy sources can qualify, finally bringing Pennsylvania in line with other states. PRESS creates a new market for clean energy, and hear me on this, including hydropower. That's why Voith is so critically important to this effort. This is going to help us protect all your jobs and create a whole lot more. Stanley and I were talking before. I asked him, what would it take in order for you to do more of what you're doing here? He says, we've got the facilities, we've got the capacity, we need more man and woman power out there. We want to help create more pathways to opportunity that you all are experiencing, and we believe Representative Friel-Otten's bill is going to be a critically important step to do just that. That's one piece of the Lightning Plan. Let me walk you through the 6 pieces. First is Representative Friel-Otten's plan on PRESS to update our energy standards. Second, I want us to revamp the tools we've already created in Pennsylvania to invest in projects that are going to help us create more power and generate more power. Before I was elected your governor, lawmakers came together and Governor Wolf signed into law a series of tax credits known as PA-EDGE. The idea here was to bring more companies from key sectors in energy and manufacturing. But here's the problem. Even though there were great intentions there, PA-EDGE has never been used because the law as it was written was too cumbersome and just simply didn't work. It wasn't nimble enough to meet the needs of generating more energy. And so we're leaving billions of dollars on the table that could attract historic investments to the Commonwealth to help fund new jobs and new energy sources. So the second key part of my plan updates PA-EDGE to ensure businesses can actually take advantage of these tax credits and make sure that we can bring those public dollars to bear to create more opportunities. We also want to speed up the process of building new energy sources. So the third part of my plan would create the Pennsylvania Reliable Energy Siting and Electric Transition Board. Never have to remember that one either. This one is called the Reset Board. This would be a brand new siting authority that would help cut through the red tape, get energy projects off the ground quickly by streamlining the siting process. You know, Pennsylvania is one of only 12 states in the nation without a state board like this. It's time we catch up, and it's time we move more quickly to get shovels in the ground and energy generated. Fourth, we're proposing direct steps to keep energy costs down for families and businesses and communities by updating the energy efficiency programs that our utilities use to save energy and to keep costs down for consumers. Under my plan, when you want to have to buy a new fridge or upgrade your HVAC system in your home or business, there will now be more money available to you to help you afford that big purchase. And that new, more efficient equipment is going to lower your utility bill as well. That's more money in your pocket, lower bills, and we're putting more Pennsylvania contractors to work. Fifth, I want to create a new community energy initiative to empower our local communities to band together and share energy resources. I learned about this by listening to Pennsylvania farmers. farmers in rural Pennsylvania who want to go in on a digester together. That can allow them to save money by purchasing their power directly from that energy source instead of getting it from the grid. That allows farmers to band together and do that work, just like it allows neighbors here in York County to band together if they can't install solar on their roof, but say they want to get a share of a solar field nearby. They can do that too under the Lightning Plan. Either way, whether a farmer or someone in a suburban area here in York County, either way, they're going to create more energy and they're going to lower their prices. Finally, the sixth piece of this is we need to pass something called PACER, a cap and invest initiative built for Pennsylvania and by Pennsylvanians. As the working group that I put together shortly after getting elected governor found, we were able to bring labor and industry, consumer advocates and environmentalists together and work together to have a Pennsylvania-focused program established by us, run by us, and for the benefit of us, that they determined would be the best path forward. We had environmentalists standing together with Rob Baer, the head of our Pennsylvania building trades, all singing from the same hymnal. That hasn't been done in a decade here in our Commonwealth. Yet we found ways to bring people together around this Lightning Plan because we all understand it's critical for us to be competitive, to create jobs, and to create more clean energy sources. And those issues are not mutually exclusive. We can do all of that work together. We determined, working together, that we're powerful enough to run our system to be able to lower costs, protect and create jobs, and take meaningful action to address climate change. This is a common sense energy policy that folks can get behind and have gotten behind. This morning, senators and representatives like Friel Otten came together from across our Commonwealth and published what's called their co-sponsorship memos, essentially advising the House and Senate that they will soon, next week, be introducing legislation to take this Lightning Plan from concept and bring it into reality. They'll formally introduce the legislation, as I said, next week, and I want to say how grateful I am to these senators and representatives for answering the call, for stepping up, and for being willing to do something that's meaningful and impactful and building on the kind of great work that folks like you here at Voith have done for generations. Listen, these representatives and senators, they're doing something. But sadly, there are too many that just want to do nothing right now. But I'm here to tell you, doing nothing is no longer an option in Pennsylvania. There are real consequences to doing nothing. For those who just want to complain and not get off the sidelines and get in the game, well, here's what's going to happen if they get their way. Consumers are going to pay a whole lot more on their energy bills. We won't create more jobs. We won't have more colleagues working with you here at Voith or other similar types of facilities. And we won't have more opportunities for businesses and labor unions to evolve and to be able to grow. That's what happens if we do nothing, pure stagnation, and Pennsylvania falls further behind. By choosing to do nothing, we've got more pollution in our air and damage to our communities. By choosing to do nothing, as some would have us do, they are choosing to be less competitive. Now, hear me on this. I'm a sports guy. I am competitive as hell. I want to win every game. I want to win every day. I want to win this battle for energy dominance in the United States and across the globe. And now is the time to act. I've laid out a detailed plan that lawmakers are now going to consider. This plan will create jobs. This plan will create opportunity. And this plan will allow the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to move forward, building on our rich traditions as an energy producer, capitalizing on great companies like Voith who have been doing this work for over a century and giving us the opportunity to be more competitive. more competitive in our communities, and more competitive in wonderful facilities like this. I'm bullish on Pennsylvania's future, but now is the time to take advantage of this moment and act. And we're going to be pushing hard to make sure that gets done. I want to thank you all for being here today. And I'm very mindful that facilities like this only run because of your hands. And facilities like this across the country, although there's nothing exactly like this, but doing similar work to this across the country, work best when they've got the hands of labor doing that work. It is now my pleasure to introduce Jim Enders, a great leader in organized labor, to share a few thoughts with all of you. Thank you all very much. God bless you. Thank you.
Talk about a tough act to follow. Thank you, Governor. As the Governor said, my name is Jim Enders. I'm president of the Central Pennsylvania Building and Construction Trades Council. It is an honor to be here today, representing nearly 6,000 men and women of our council that help keep Pennsylvania running strong. Together, we strive to raise the standards for all workers and ensure that the highest quality of craftsmanship exists across our 21-county region. In Central PA, we know a little bit about energy production. Our 21-county area includes 15 power generation facilities that puts my members to work every single day. I'm proud to stand here in York with Governor Shapiro and encourage our partners on both sides of the aisle to pass a comprehensive energy strategy for Pennsylvania. I appreciate the investments that the governor has made in our workforce, the speeding up of the permitting process, and signaling to businesses like the one we're gathered at here today that Pennsylvania is open for business. I agree with Governor Shapiro that we're long overdue to unite behind a strategy that encourages energy production, lowers costs for energy consumers, creates good-paying union jobs that offer family-sustaining wages, while also at the same time is mindful of the planet that we'll leave behind for our kids and our grandkids. We share the governor's commitment to make it easier to build things and to produce more energy in Pennsylvania. These are common sense goals that we should all be able to agree on. Organized labor is encouraged by the governor's leadership on an energy plan that creates thousands of good-paying union jobs and puts Pennsylvania energy at the forefront. We look forward to working with him to get it done. We should all stand together to support this visionary plan and work hand in hand towards a brighter, healthier future for all Pennsylvanians. Thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Representative Danielle Friel-Otten. Please give her a warm welcome.
Thanks. Okay, appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Pennsylvania cannot afford to simply stand by as other states race ahead, diversifying their energy portfolios and stepping up to meet the growing market demand for cleaner, more affordable, and more reliable energy. The urgent call to action is here. We must harness our renewable resources and technological capabilities to secure Pennsylvania's energy future and maintain our status as a top producer and energy exporter. Good afternoon. My name is Danielle Friel-Otten. I represent the 155th Legislative District in Central Chester County. I'm honored to be here today to speak about Governor Shapiro's Lightning Plan, specifically to highlight the legislation I am sponsoring, also known as PRESS, the Pennsylvania Reliable Energy Sustainability Standard. This is a common sense initiative aimed at lowering electricity costs, revitalizing our energy landscape, and positioning Pennsylvania as a national leader in the production of clean, reliable, and affordable energy. 20 years ago, Pennsylvania led the way on clean energy by establishing the alternative energy portfolio standard. Yet today, we find ourselves in 45th place in the nation for clean energy investments like wind, solar, and hydropower, as other states surge forward with their economic development through energy initiatives. At the same time, demand for energy is exploding, driven largely by the rapid growth of the tech economy. We must act now to increase and diversify our energy supply to meet that demand, or Pennsylvania consumers and ratepayers will soon be forced to bear the substantive cost of our inaction. For Pennsylvania and 12 of our neighboring or nearby states, the PJM capacity market is an essential framework designed to safeguard our energy security by guaranteeing that enough electricity is generated to meet current and future demand on our shared power grid. PJM's directive is to ensure that even during peak demand scenarios and periods of extreme weather, sweltering heat or freezing cold, we have the electricity we need to power our homes, our schools, and our businesses. But the reality is that the PJM capacity markets face significant challenges in our modern energy landscape. Rising demand, extreme weather events, foreign wars, and global instability have led to alarming price spikes, resulting in record high capacity market prices that threaten to burden consumers and businesses alike. In July 2024, the base residual auction revealed a shocking price just short of $270 per megawatt day. That's nearly 10 times higher than the previous auction. That translates to an estimated $14.7 billion in costs that will pass through to consumers. That's a financial strain we cannot ignore. Adding to the urgency are the supply challenges we face. As coal-fired power plants retire and domestic demand rapidly increases, we are left vulnerable. Currently, our capacity markets are overwhelmingly dominated by fossil fuel generation, making them susceptible to price fluctuations beyond our control. The events of the December 2022 Winter Storm Elliott exposed glaring deficiencies in our electricity generation mix and raised serious reliability concerns. If we do not act decisively, PJM has warned that a capacity shortage and corresponding rate hikes could emerge as early as the 2026-27 delivery year. That is where Governor Shapiro's Lightning Plan comes in. This is an ambitious and forward-thinking roadmap designed to reduce net greenhouse gas emissions, enhance our energy independence, and restore and secure Pennsylvania's position as a leader in clean energy production. By diversifying our energy sources and adding more clean, reliable, and affordable energy to our grid, we can combat the rising energy costs driven by global events, foreign wars, and increasing domestic demand. The Pennsylvania Reliable Energy Sustainability Standard, or PRESS, builds upon the success of the AEPS by making it more inclusive, adding nuclear power, and creating a path for next-generation technologies like hydro. Reliable baseload power is built into the core of PRESS with a strong focus on resilient forms of energy generation and supply, including battery storage and nuclear power. PRESS and the Lightning Plan are not just clean energy initiatives. They are a commitment to improve grid reliability, prevent exponential rate hikes, create tens of thousands of family-sustaining jobs, and protect Pennsylvania's position in the energy arena for the next 20 years. I look forward to working with the administration, my colleagues in the General Assembly, and stakeholders in the environmental and labor and business communities to move PRESS and the governor's lightning plan forward. Thank you for including me today, and thank you to all of you for being a part of the work. And I'd like to introduce Kevin Schreiber from York County.
Thank you. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, she crossed the river today for us. It feels better on this side though, doesn't it? I feel really good. Hi folks, hi Voith. Thank you to Governor Shapiro. Thank you for coming down and bringing your team today. And thank you to the Voith team for hosting us. It is a pleasure to be back here at Voith, a company that exemplifies innovation, dedication, and truly is driving Pennsylvania's energy sector forward. We are especially proud to take today to spotlight Governor Shapiro's announced Lightning Plan, a comprehensive, bold strategic initiative designed to maintain Pennsylvania as a leader in energy innovation and sustainability. This plan is not just about energy, as you've heard. It's about creating good-paying jobs for skilled workers. It's about boosting local economies right here in York County, environmental stewardship, and maintaining Pennsylvania's leadership in the national energy landscape, and ensuring that we remain on the forefront of advanced manufacturing and energy production. It was September of 2023 that Governor Shapiro was in York over at Penn Air to announce the launch of the state's first economic competitiveness plan, a comprehensive plan to push Pennsylvania to the top of states aggressively pursuing economic, community, and workforce development. This Lightning Plan announced today is testament to the spirit of innovation and energy called for in that competitiveness plan. And it's testament to the culture, Governor, that you have created to hit bold goals and get things done. And Governor, over these past 2 years, we've had the privilege of working with Voith multiple times alongside many members of your administration, consistently celebrating their commitment to expansion, to forward-thinking energy solutions right here in York, Pennsylvania. They understand that the future of their company, the future of our community, and our Commonwealth are intertwined, and they continue to invest and grow and innovate, all to benefit us all. The Lightning Plan aligns perfectly with the values and the vision of companies like Voith, embodied in communities like York County, where manufacturing is in our DNA. An impressive 18% of our labor force is employed in advanced manufacturing. To put that in perspective, that's nearly twice the state and national average. Look around us. This is what we do here in York County.
Impressive.
We can take raw material, manufacture it, and ship it across the globe, and Governor, we're prepared to continue to do that. The Lightning Plan's impact on communities like York, where manufacturing is not just an industry, but a way of life, will be transformative. The plan will attract new investments and stimulate job creation by prioritizing sustainable energy production, modernizing tax and other incentives, and ensuring that advanced manufacturing remains a cornerstone to local economies. It will also empower manufacturers such as Voith to continue to expand operations and lead global innovation. Gov, in downtown York, there is a mural on a side of the building. There's a historic mural that depicts the York Plan. Where are my amateur historians out there for York? The York Plan was developed back during World War II. Because you mentioned the arsenal of democracy, I gotta go off script and bring this up. The York Plan was created by manufacturers and labor leaders who got together to create a playbook that could be replicated across the country to convert manufacturing to munitions to secure our future and our future democracy. Gov, what you're creating here today is a modern day York Plan, albeit maybe plugged in on some steroids, but to do what we can with what we've got to secure our future for Pennsylvania. By bringing together labor leaders and industry leaders, environmental advocates, consumer groups, this Lightning Plan represents a collaborative approach to empowering Pennsylvania's future. So thank you to Governor Shapiro, to your entire team for your leadership, the vision with this Lightning Plan, thank you to Voith and other companies throughout Pennsylvania for continuing to make your investments here in our Commonwealth and here in York County. Together, we are building a stronger and more resilient and more prosperous Commonwealth. And with that, it is my pleasure to introduce Patrick McDonnell of Penn Future.
Thanks, Doug.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Thank you for having me here today, Governor. Thank you to Voith for hosting, and thanks to all the people I've worked with in the past here who know well what it takes to get hard energy plans done. As I was sitting here listening to all of the speakers, the thing I thought about was something I used to say at DEP and something that we certainly say at Penn Future, and that is the best solutions that we have in front of us solve multiple problems. And that is what we're here to talk about today. Yes, I can talk about climate, I can talk about clean energy, clean water, those impacts, and as an environmental advocacy organization, those things are important to us. But more important is how that intersects with the things everyday Pennsylvanians are going through. How do we produce the jobs of the future for Pennsylvania? How do we make sure we are addressing electricity rates, energy costs for consumers, and the way that those energy costs trickle down to the price we pay at the grocery store, the price we pay at the hardware store? These things are all connected. So when I think about press as one example, I think about unlocking clean, renewable, cheap energy across the Commonwealth and getting that onto the grid to help bring down our energy costs. When I think about energy efficiency and the Act 129 program and the changes that are being promoted there, I think not just about energy costs coming down through those programs, but I think about the people who are going to go in and do that work in people's homes, in people's businesses across this Commonwealth. It's not just enough for us as a Commonwealth to reduce our reliance on fossil fuel infrastructure. It's important for us to boost the amount of renewable energy here in the state. It's important for us to realize the benefits to air quality, to water quality, to build those things here today. I am very, very excited that the governor has put such a focus on PJM and the energy rate conversation that has been happening over these last couple months. And he knows, we all know, it's not enough just to look to PJM to solve these issues. The Lightning Plan is a real concrete way for us to reduce energy costs for consumers and to make sure we're putting the people of Pennsylvania to work. So thank you, Governor. Thank you all for the great work in putting it together, and excited to work with you to get it over the finish line.
Us too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. I want to make sure I get the chance to spend some time with Team Voith here. I've got to take a few questions from the media first, but let me just say to my team, led by Secretary Shirley, who leads the Department of Environmental Protection, together with Brian Regley, Amanda Warren, and Sam Robinson, they have worked so hard over the course of the last 2 years to get us to this point where we could have concrete legislation ready to go, ready to bring Democrats and Republicans together to do something big on energy. I'm grateful to work with this team. Thank you all very, very much. Team Voith, I'll be right with you. Let me see if there's any questions from the media first.
Mark Walters, York Dispatch. This one's hydroelectric specific. There's a project.
I'm really sorry. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Just talk into the mic if you don't mind. Not that much into the mic.
Sorry. Mark Walters, York. Is this good? Mark Walters, York Dispatch. Thanks for coming down. Hydroelectric specific. There's a project on the Susquehanna River proposed. A developer wants to put a hydroelectric energy storage dam there.
Yeah.
It's, including from people seated in front of me, had a lot of public opposition. So I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Well, look, we want to hear from the community. The community will weigh in. They'll make sure their voices are heard. Obviously, there's going to be a federal regulatory oversight process. It's going to be critical here. I'm not going to get ahead of this project. We want to hear local voices, but we also can't be stymied in the progress we need to make in this Commonwealth. It's always a balancing act, and I'm sure that the local community here will find that balance. Anything else?
Yeah, Governor, I have an off-topic question. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, but let me see, is there anything else on the lightning plan here?
Governor, on the regional greenhouse gas initiative, how would PACER and how would PRESS differ from the standards that were set by that?
The lightning plan would take the place, of the need to be in RGGI. We believe that the best way forward is a plan built by Pennsylvania for Pennsylvanians. You know, I've heard some people on the other side of the aisle who are in favor of literally doing nothing other than, you know, attacking me politically, which is fine. I'm a big boy, I can take it. They all tell me how much they don't like RGGI. And I said, well, here I am saying, here's a better way forward that we can work on together. And if you want to get out of RGGI, come to the table and work on this with us. Doing nothing is not an option. Doing nothing and just complaining makes us less competitive. Doing nothing is an affront to organized labor and all these women and men here who want to work, who want to make sure that more people can do that work. Doing nothing means more pollution in our communities. I don't think we should listen to those small voices on the other side that want to do nothing. Now it's time to be big and bold and do something real. And if we do something big like lightning, that takes the place of RGGI.
Real quick on the lightning plan. How much cooperation would there need to be from the federal government and from the Trump administration to put these forward, these proposals?
Well, look, these are Pennsylvania-based solutions. I hope that we will be able to continue to work with the federal government in order to advance manufacturing here in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I was talking about Stanley before. They're expanding their operations here thanks to a grant that came from the Inflation Reduction Act. Serious money that came through. The idea that the federal government wants to pull that kind of money back, make it harder for the Voiths of the world to be able to expand, make it harder for them to do their jobs, that doesn't make any sense to me. We have to continue to work closely with our federal partners to expand operations, not restrict them. I've had, significant conversations and detailed conversations with Secretary Wright, who's the Energy Secretary. He understands just how critically important energy is here in Pennsylvania. I talked to him about the lightning plan and some of our initiatives here, which he seemed generally very interested in learning more about. I'm going to continue to keep that dialogue going.
Governor, my question is about a story published today by Broad and Liberty, a news outlet down near Philly. They published an article tied to a 2023 sexual harassment claim against a former member of your cabinet, which led to a $295,000 taxpayer-funded settlement. The story describes court interactions and basically says that the administration can't locate key emails in the case. Can you comment on that report?
I didn't read the story. Last I checked, you wrote for the Post-Gazette, so it's kind of strange you'd be citing some other news source. But I didn't read the story, and I'm confident my administration follows all document retention policies. Anything else?
We did write many stories about the original claim.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
Thank you. Governor, a lawsuit filed last week against the governor's office as well as the Pennsylvania Human Relations Commission claimed that the commission didn't have the authority to change state law to expand the definition of sex or gender. What's your position on this?
I haven't read the lawsuit, but let me just say in general, I am honored to serve as the 48th governor of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Every day when I go to work, I look at portraits of the people who came before me, including the first leader of our Commonwealth, William Penn, who founded this Commonwealth as a place that would be warm and welcoming for all people. And I think it is my responsibility as someone who's been passed down this torch of leadership from William Penn to make sure that Pennsylvania remains a place that is warm and welcoming for all, including for people in the LGBTQ plus community. I understand that there are those who want to try and score cheap political points by bullying a trans kid or making it harder for someone to marry who they love. That's just not where I am, and that's certainly not where I think the vast majority of Pennsylvanians are. The people I meet every day are people who are welcoming, people who are tolerant, and I think we need to continue to be welcoming and tolerant here in this Commonwealth. Okay? Thank you all very much.
wholeheartedly support the governor's plan to lower electricity costs and to build and upgrade more power plants to ensure clean, reliable, and affordable energy for Pennsylvania's future. Governor, thank you once again for your leadership and for choosing VoithHydro as a partner in this transformative journey. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Governor Josh Shapiro.
Thank you, Stanley. Stanley, to you and to... I gotta tell you, I'm so darn proud that Voith has made Pennsylvania its home since the 1880s. That's home for hundreds of welders and machinists in North America. It's incredible. I believe, and this is why I wanted to be here today, that Voith is a symbol of food on the table of your families, earn a great wage, and has helped lead to the creation of the modern-day American labor energy siting and electric transition board. Never have to remember that one either. This one is called the Reset Board. This would be a brand new siting authority that would help cut through the red tape as well. That's more money in your pocket, lower bills, and we're putting more Pennsylvania contractors to work. Fifth, I want to create a new community energy initiative.
Our 21 county area includes 15 power generation facilities that puts my members to work every single day. I'm proud to stand here in York with. I appreciate the investments that the governor has made in our workforce, the speeding up of the permitting process, and signaling to businesses like the one we're gathered at here today.
Specifically to highlight the legislation I am sponsoring, also known as PRESS, the Pennsylvania Reliable Energy Sustainability Standard, production of clean, reliable, and affordable energy. 20 years ago, Pennsylvania led the way on clean energy by establishing an alternative largely by the rapid growth of the tech economy. We must act now to increase and diversify our energy supply to meet that demand for Pennsylvania consumers and bring the guarantee that enough electricity is generated to meet current and future demand on our shared power grid. PJM's directive is to ensure that even during peak demand scenarios. In July 2024, the base residual auction revealed a shocking price just short of $270 per megawatt day.
Plan is not just about energy, as you've heard. It's about creating good-paying jobs for skilled workers. It's about boosting local economies right here in York County. Environmental steward Josh Shapiro was in York over at Penn Air to announce the launch of the state's first economic competitiveness plan, a comprehensive plan to push Pennsylvania to the top of states.
Make sure we are addressing electricity rates, energy costs for consumers, and the way that those energy costs trickle down to the price we pay at the grocery. Cheap energy across the Commonwealth and getting that onto the grid to help bring down our energy costs. When I think about energy efficiency and the Act 129 structure, it's important for us to boost the amount of renewable energy here in the state. It's important for us to realize